Unmute by Iska Wellness in association with the Fern Society, powered by Guwahati Foodie and online partner Discoverist.
Hello everyone, welcome to another video. I am Suniti Barua, founder and senior psychotherapist at Iska Wellness, and today we are going to be talking about how to take care of our loved one through mental health crisis. So recognizing mental health crisis needs professional support, no doubt. But as a loved one, you can lend a helping hand and support to your family or friend, whoever is going through a crisis. If you notice any changes in your loved one, let's say a sudden erratic patterns of like behavioral changes, mood swings which erupt very suddenly, that means that the person has no previous signs of showing this, but suddenly they have started showing some erratic behavior. By erratic I mean sleeping too much, eating too much too less, having sudden mood swings, outbursts. So recognizing these new erratic changes is the first step. Secondly, also we must evaluate, are they going through any physical symptoms of physical illnesses? For example, a lot of the time stress or any kind of traumatic event which may be fevers, stomach upset, very low mood, social withdrawal, pain, headache, migraine, newly developed gastric issues like having a lot of acidity, or even stomach upsets. Something that is suddenly emerging might be a sign of also stress induced or trauma induced. So we must look at new changes and which are very significant, vivid, erratic, and these kind of changes will give us a lot of clarity whether the person is going through something. Do your research. Mental health is really becoming very important for everyone nowadays, and with the present situation, especially with the COVID-19 pandemic, mental health is becoming a priority too, as much as physical health. So do your research and see what kind of issues might erupt and what may the symptoms look like. Very low mood, fluctuations, withdrawal, changes in personality, changes in a way a person is behaving, extreme erratic outbursts, panic attack, or even tantrum like behavior might be signs of extreme stress, trauma, or panic. Self-harming behaviors might also give us an indication. Some of the ways by which you can help a loved one in a crisis is first and foremost creating a sense of safety. Let them know that wherever they are safe. Talking to you is safe. Nothing is going to be revealed. They are not in a crisis situation, or nothing is going to go out of control. Whenever there is a mental health distress, the individual might feel like everything is out of my control. What am I going to do? Will I be able to help myself? The feelings are overwhelming. The situation feels overwhelming. So creating that sense of safety is very important as a loved one or as a support system for such an individual. The second point is create calm. During a panic attack or during any kind of crisis, it is important to also make sure that the person is able to feel that sense of calmness. So ground them that they are in a safe space. Tell them, look around you, you are at home, everything is fine. Okay, say simple statements like, I am here, I am listening, follow my voice, breathe deeply, tell me what happened, what can I do? Okay, give them that sense of efficacy. Efficacy means I can do it, my self-belief. So tell them, what can I do? Tell me. What would you like right now? Tell me. Let them handle the situation. Do you want me to call someone? Even though you are the loved one, maybe this individual is not comfortable sharing everything with you. Example, your sister or brother is going through a crisis and you're trying to help them, but they might want to speak to a friend or they might want to speak to a parent. Allow them options of visiting different professionals, and also allow them that scope to choose. When an individual feels like they have a choice, a lot of things might get resolved. Whenever there is overwhelming distress, many a times the perception of the person is that I don't have any choice. So let them have that choice. Create that connection. Make sure that you are able to connect them to that required person, or you are able to connect them to a mental health professional, or make that connection with yourself. If no one is available and if they choose someone else other than you to connect with, please let them know that right now, even though they are not available, I am there for you. So whatever it is, tell me. Okay, and hold their hand. Ask them for permission before holding their hand. Hold their hand or just pat their back and let them know that you are listening. Refrain from using judgmental statements like it's okay, it's fine, you'll get over it. It might really not be okay. Whatever they are facing, whether they are opening up or not, might be very difficult for them in their mind, and in that moment of distress, it's going to be very difficult. Create hope. Give them simple ways by which they can feel hopeful. For example, you can tell them that, I'm here, everything is fine right now. Do you think that you can calm down right now? Do you think we can focus on something else? Let us discuss what can be done. Come, let's see, let's find a solution. I can give another example that a lot of people are getting COVID-19 now. It's a very panicking situation. So in this time, if we look towards recovery rates, if we look towards what can be done, that might make the person very hopeful. So creating hope in this way, again, be very realistic. If we tell people that oh, everything is going to be fine, it might not be. If your loved one is going through long-term mental health distress, sometimes it is overwhelming to be their caregiver or support system too. So I encourage you to take care of your own stress. Take care of your own stress so that you are able to be there for this person, because they are not right now able to take care of that stress. I hope this video was helpful for you guys. I'll see you next time in another video. Thank you so much.